Parker Schnabel has built a reputation as one of the most ambitious young miners in the industry, consistently pushing the limits of what is possible. In gold mining, however, this season has proven to be one of his toughest yet. His Dominion Creek claim, which was supposed to be a game changer, has turned into a major disappointment. The ground has yielded far less gold than he had hoped, making it difficult to cover the enormous operational costs that come with running a large-scale mining operation, with expenses piling up and gold production failing to meet expectations. Parker has been forced to make some difficult decisions, including selling off some of his prized equipment to stay afloat. One of Parker's buyers was Brian McCann, who was in the market for emergency mining gear at a reasonable price. As they discussed the sale, Parker made it clear that the machine he was offering was one of the best he owned, emphasizing its reliability and efficiency despite his initial asking price of $200,000. McCann was looking for a bargain, countering with an offer closer to $150,000. Parker, recognizing the urgency of his financial situation, was willing to negotiate. After some back and forth, he reluctantly agreed to let the equipment go for just $162,000, far less than what he originally valued it at. The sale was a stark reflection of Parker's current struggles. Known for being a tough negotiator, he found himself in an unfamiliar position, one where he had little leverage. McCann, sensing Parker's desperation, wondered aloud why he had been given such a good deal. He speculated that Parker's gold production had fallen so short that he was left with no choice but to liquidate assets. For a mining operation that should be thriving, this situation was, as McCann put it, embarrassing. Parker himself admitted that the financial strain of this season had been overwhelming. While he remains optimistic about Dominion Creek's long-term potential, he acknowledged that future prospects don't help him cover costs in the present. The reality of gold mining is unforgiving without steady production. Even the most seasoned miners can find themselves in financial trouble despite these hardships. Parker is not one to back down from a challenge. Over the years, he has built a career on perseverance and strategic decision-making. While selling off equipment was a painful decision, it may provide the temporary relief he needs to regroup and refocus his efforts. If he can learn from the setbacks at Dominion Creek and adjust his approach, there's still hope that he can turn things around before the season comes to an end. For now, though, Parker Schnabel finds himself in one of the most difficult situations of his career, one that serves as a stark reminder of the unpredictable nature of gold mining. Whether he can recover from this setback remains to be seen. But if history is any indication, Parker won't go down without a fight. Parker Schnabel has long been admired for his non-nonsense approach to gold mining. Over the years, Gold Rush viewers have seen him make major investments without hesitation, often committing large sums of money in hopes of striking it rich. Unlike many of his fellow miners, Parker has built a reputation for being direct in his business dealings, rarely engaging in lengthy negotiations. However, after the latest episode of Gold Rush Season 15, some fans believe he may be going back on his own words. Fans believe Parker is now eating his own words. However, Parker's struggles were compounded by an unexpected setback when his crew lost an excavator. While these challenges were significant, what really caught the attention of fans was Parker's apparent shift in negotiation tactics. Unlike his usual cut-and-dry approach, he was seen engaging and haggling, a move that some fans took as a sign of financial desperation. On social media, fans discussed the irony of the situation. Many pointed out that Parker had previously criticized crew members like Kevin Beats for wanting to negotiate deals, insisting that time was more valuable than small financial savings. Yet in this episode, he appeared to be doing exactly that. Some viewers joke that Kevin would find this particularly amusing, cons considering Parker's past stance on negotiations. Others speculated that the situation was more serious than it seemed. One fan observed that Parker initially dismissed the idea that he would fall short of his season goal, believing that the show's editing was simply adding unnecessary drama. However, after watching his continued struggles, they admitted that it now appears he is genuinely in trouble. Another fan noted that Parker's longtime foreman Buzz Lego seemed noticeably more upbeat than usual, suggesting that he too might be sensing The urgency of the situation a sign of changing times for Parker. Schnabel has faced difficult seasons before, but this year's setbacks may be proving more challenging than anticipated. His Dominion Creek claim has been a major disappointment, and the mounting expenses have forced him to rethink his usual strategies. If he is now willing to negotiate prices, something he once avoided, it could indicate that his financial concerns are more pressing than he has let on for years. Parker's confidence in his operation and decision-making has set him apart from many other miners. He has made bold purchases, expanded his claims, and pushed his crew to perform at the highest level. His willingness to invest heavily without hesitation has been part of his success, but also part of his identity on the show. This shift in strategy, however, could signal a change in approach, one that is dictated by necessity rather than preference. Some fans are wondering whether Parker's financial situation is worse than he is letting on. The loss of a key piece of equipment, the lack of strong gold yields, and the growing expenses could be putting immense pressure on him. If he has truly reached a point where he needs to haggle to cut costs, it may indicate that his operation is struggling more than viewers initially thought. On the other hand, there are those who believe this is simply another example of Parker adapting to changing circumstances. The mining industry is unpredictable, and even the most successful miners must adjust their strategies when conditions shift. Parker may be realizing that in order to stay competitive and keep his operation running, he has to abandon some of his previous hardline stances and start making more tactical financial decisions. Will Parker recover from this season's setbacks? It remains to be seen whether Parker will be able to turn things around before the season ends. Dominion Creek was supposed to be a major step forward for his operation, but so far it has proven to be more of a burden than an asset. With time running out and the season goal looking increasingly difficult to reach, Parker may need to continue making tough decisions to keep his business afloat. While some fans see his willingness to negotiate as a sign of desperation, others argue that it shows his ability to adapt under pressure. If there's one thing Parker Schnabel has proven time and again, it's that he doesn't give up easily. Whether he can bounce back from this challenging season will be a true test of his resilience and leadership in the mining world. Parker Schnabel is no stranger to adversity, and while this season has been challenging, it's far too early to write off his Dominion Creek venture. Large-scale mining projects often take years to reach their full potential, and Parker has both the experience and determination to push through setbacks. While some fans believe he may be regretting his decision now, others argue that he is simply facing the growing pains of managing a larger operation. Whether Dominion Creek turns into the gold mine Parker envisioned or proves to be a costly misstep remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: Parker isn't giving up anytime soon. As the season continues, all eyes will be on whether he can turn this risky gamble into his biggest success yet.